Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is welcome to the F1 tier of AOR. Joining me in this commentary box is my good old new commentator. I will introduce him today as OTG.
Hello everyone and welcome to a beautifully sunny Melbourne. I'm just looking outside the commentary box and we have got some bright sunny conditions which are perfect for qualifying as we get ourselves underway here for the 15th season of AOR. As you mentioned, brand new season that can only bring some excitement. Every driver will be feeling exactly the same way. They can all feel they can win this championship. They all feel they can get off to the best start. We have a defending champion, we have new drivers in the tier, we have a new sponsor. It can only mean one thing: AOR is back and it's getting underway as cars exit the pit lane now.
Indeed, we've got cars leaving the pit lane. We've got, of course, a beautiful lineup and, of course, your reigning champion as well here of Ollie D. And you can see all of the cars leaving the pit lane today. Well, let's go through all the drivers then, Zoe, and we'll start off, of course, with the reigning champions. Ollie D, he's in Mercedes now, and I've got to say, it's going to be good for his season, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd put money on him to have another good season. Last season he pretty much dominated. He was on top, he was a great driver, he was clean. He'd done so well that he was able to get signed up to an esports team. So now he'll be looking to make it back-to-back championship, but he is not short of competition throughout the grid. There's some great drivers out there, one of which Clarkey. He has shown great pace in little practice sessions that have been going on, so he could be one up there. Notoriously as well, there's some quick drivers in qualifying, but in the race they don't show up as much. There's also drivers who can be quite... few rumours as well. Gemzo, who's been promoted from F2, he can be very quick on his day. He's raced in multiple leagues, and now this is the pinnacle. He now needs to try and make this turn into a perfect performance and to turn this into a championship winning season for him potentially. But all the cars coming out of the pit lane, only a select amount in the pits at the moment. It's RC Alonso who's just come out of the pits, and Carl Alex is the last man to come out of the pits. He's the most experienced driver on the field, coming into his 5th season in AOR.
Well, it is going to be extremely interesting. Of course, Australia, of course, we know from the real life race, it is one, if not the most classic circuits here. 1996, the first race in F1 held. The actual circuit was first ever raced in 1955, so it's a very old circuit. Of course, around the Royal Albert Park. Of course, the tennis ground, the cricket ground, should say, not too far away as well.
Yeah, it should be a good one. We'll quickly run through the grid then. So Mercedes, as you mentioned, Ollie Dixon, he'll be racing for Mercedes in the car number 63. And number 64, his teammate, will be Curly. That'll be an interesting battle between them two very good drivers and very well respected within the community. At Red Bull, you've got yourselves Chicken and the Eagle Killer. The Eagle Killer, a very quick driver in qualifying, but sometimes can't perform in the race. But it'll be interesting to see if he can turn that around. He'll be practicing a lot to try and get that done. In Ferrari, it's RC Alonso and Clay. Again, two very experienced drivers. They could be doing well and trying to get their way up. We'll run through this now quickly. We've got Force India, which is the Dutch co-hindrance of Floris and Gemzo. Floris notoriously quick at times, but also can make a few mistakes and has crashed in the past, causing a little bit of drama. He's got a reputation for himself, but personally I've spoken to Floris and I've experienced him at first hand in other formats, and he is a very talented guy on his day. And him and Gemzo can work very, very well together. They're in the Pink Panthers of the Force India. You've got the Williams, which is Syntactic. This is gonna be out through at the race, so I'm gonna call him Sync. And you've got Alex as well. He's in the Williams. Those are car number 13 and 75. In McLaren, number 99, the ex-Oxulate and Alvaro. We'll just call him Alvaro. It's easier there. Clarkey and Overdink are in Toro Rosso. Davidos and Cass, they're in Haas. Jim Navid and Casti, both Jim drivers, both Spanish, of course. They're going to have a good teamwork. You've got to keep an eye on it team-wise. If people know each other well and they're in parties, they're talking, they're in communication with the teams, this could be a huge factor, because if you have teamwork, it can make the dream work, the phrase goes. And then finally at Sauber, you have Daniel and Baku Ayub. So we could have, Barak Pala. We could have some really interesting races. That is your grid here. 20 drivers on the grid. All cars are hit. Nobody has failed to show up. That is the respect that AOR garnishes from drivers throughout. It's just now Ollie Davis on top from Clarkey and Clay, and it's shaping up as a very tight qualifying already.
Indeed it is, and like you said, Ollie, currently on P1, of course, your reigning champion, and a little bit of a rebound there from Syntec. I'm going to call him Syntec. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. So we're going to call him Sin there. And so let's going through the field, of course. Got Ferraris going well. Alonso back in Ferrari again. He's left McLaren and joined Ferrari, of course. Not the Axel Alonso, but RC Alonso. If he's ahead of Curly Whirly right now in the Mercedes. So Mercedes first and 7th right now. A contrasting fortunes there, but still got a slide there for the Mercedes. Out of course, that is the third last corner. Come down to the penultimate corner here. Toro Rosso ahead of him there. The last corner. Always committed these drivers through the last corner, building their speed up then. Let's see where he can go then. He's currently 7th. Does he go up the field? Let's see. Can he improve? He's 7th right now. Goes 4th. A 121.5. A very decent lap there.
Yeah, indeed it was. Just a quick side note there. The only guy out on the super soft tyres at the moment is Jim Pasty. So going for a split strategy at the moment in the Renault car number 10. He's going to be looking to be getting a good performance here. A little bit wayward out of the penultimate corner there. He's now going to be coming from the line. It'll be interesting where he comes here. Super soft tyres are kind of irrelevant at this track, but if you are on the super softs, you're going to be looking at pitting around lap 10 to lap 12 potentially, and on the ultra softs it's lap 6 to lap 9. So tyre degradation can be crucial here. You could get a 1 stop, but 2 stop is normally the optimum round here. So the pit stop stages will be important. As we all know, following cars around this track is not an easy thing to do. It can be frustrating for many guys. So we could see some really tight battles with no conclusions. So any overtakes will be great overtakes, I think. Got to quickly mention here, Ollie Davis is on pole. Sorry, Ollie D, sorry, is on pole. And, well, let's look at that. Jim Nardi to X-Team is only 9 thousandths of a second behind him. Carl Alex is 600ths of a second. The top 12 are separated by just under 6 tenths at the moment. And Jim Pasty's time, not really good enough for Luke's off tyres to try and get it. But it just shows how tight this grid really is. It could be a really exciting qualifying session. And it'll be interesting to see how it develops over the course of the day. It looks like currently it's going to be nice, bright, sunny conditions throughout the rest of the qualifying. And it'll be interesting to see as well how the race goes. We don't have the telemetry available to see, so we might see if we can get some communication going to know if anyone has any information. But at the moment, it looks like it's going to be a bright race for qualifying. So bright and sunny for qualifying and potentially for the race. But some rain might spice things up.
Indeed, people wondering, this of course is the F1 tier. For some reason the stream title didn't put it on there again, because it does that sometimes. Apologies to anyone who gets confused, of course, because for some reason PS4 doesn't like that, but nonetheless, like, we are of course on the F1 tier as well. For anyone wondering, everyone in the pit lane now for the, well, it's for the last stints, of course, and it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Ollie on pole ahead of Jim, then there's Carl Alec, and then Clarkey. Chicken in 5th, Curly Whirly in 6th. IRT is in 7th with Sentit in 8th. Clay is in 9th with Alonso in 10th. Dordos in 11th with The Angel in 12th. And Jim 13th, and the only and the last person set lap time. Quite a few haven't set lap time, including, I believe it is, I want to call him the Chocolate. We've got VP Gems, you've got Iraz, Cass, who is just coming through the last corner. He'll set a lap time. He's going on board with the Haas then. To the line, let's see, where does he go? He's 17th. Where does he go? Up to P1. That is an absolutely storming lap there from the Haas driver. And straight away, showing us this season is going to be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, you've got some interesting drivers still who haven't set times. You know, Chocolate, Dan Daniel, Gemzo, Overking. Floris is retired, so Floris I don't think is coming out since we grey, so he might not be coming out there. Burke Apollo has actually gone off at the final corner. Oh, and he's almost gone into the Toro Rosso there, luckily for the ghosting, so he's gone off there. Be interesting to see what happened. A 0 place grid penalty apparently for him there. That's an interesting one. He's now gone into the wall, so there's grass on the tyres, so I'm not sure if he was ramping up for an outlap. He's decided to come into the pits now. So we've still got 5 guys who haven't set a time with Floris, who looks like he's not going to be able to set a time here in qualifying. The Eagle Killer, very good driver in qualifying, so he could still come out on his outlap. Looks like all the guys now are starting to come out onto the track to go onto their final outlaps. It could cause some traffic and congestion, but we've got to mention the fact that the top 3 are separated by less than a tenth at this current moment in time, and all drivers are out on ultra softs to set their fastest lap. So nobody is going for the optimal strategy. Sorry, a different strategy on the super softs. It's so competitive that going for that probably will lose you so much time. And it's a difference between a podium and last place, sadly. It's so tight and congested, but really nice to see that we've got some interesting guys out on track. As now Cass has set a new fastest lap, a 1 minute 21.148. That is 2.5 tenths quicker than Ollie. So now that's going to be a really intriguing one to see. He's now coming onto hot laps, and he's now coming through the final few corners. I think he's just finishing his out lap, so he's now ramping up for the final lap as well. So we're hitting crunch time. Let's see who we go. Who's your money on?
Well, you have to say Ollie looks very competitive here. We'll cross the line and we'll watch his lap then. So you go down towards turn number 1. It is a quick right-left blend into the first corner. Bottas crashed here in qualifying and in real life. Of course, in the exit they go, building that speed up to almost 190 miles an hour before they tuck it down into the 4th gear corner. Into 3rd he does go. Then into this long little tricky left-hand lane, building the speed up into the flat right here. I believe that is turn 5. Where they go then down towards, remember, Schumacher crashed here and flipped over viciously in 2001 just there. Of course, on the exit now, Maldonado crashed here in 2012. This track, of course, has a lot of crashes. I think every corner there's been incidents in real life. Into, I believe, this is, I can't remember what the actual name of the chicane is called, but I think it is, I'm not going to quote it, but I think it is the Brabham chicane. So through they go, into this very tricky left-right there. Lifting off the 140, builds the speed up, and it looks to be good by the way. As RC Alonso goes 2nd, and then Sintet goes 2nd. So everyone improving right now, and Ollie down to 4th right now, but it's on his lap. He needs to find about just over 2 and a bit attempts to get that car on the front row. He's got a Force India ahead of him. He's got his teammate, I believe, ahead of him, behind him. Doesn't look like a very good lap, though. He looks a bit sluggish. Let's see what he can do, though. Nonetheless, across the line, does he improve? Does not, but he has another lap to go.
Yeah, interesting. Well, that Cass, who is fastest, but not anymore, is Chocolate. Goes and says 1 minute 20.961, the first man into the 1 minute 20s. Cass set 2 laps on his tyres, so that might hinder him later on with the tyre wear being so important round here. But Chocolate's now pulling off. Curly Whirly, who is also on a lap, I think. He's all over the place, possibly going a little bit too much now. I think he's now trying to help out Ollie, maybe. I don't know if he can, but this Force India ahead of Ollie could hinder him as Cass now is out. Nardi X-Team, he comes into the pits. Overking, he is also, sorry, over the King, he's also finished now. It's now coming to the crunch time. There's going to be action all over the place. People will be setting new times, but Chocolate is the fastest man at the moment. Ollie will not be happy at the moment with P7. He needs to improve. This isn't a great performance here from the defending champion at the moment. Jim Pasty, he's in 11th. He's finished his, but Gemzo, who is the only guy yet to set a lap, I think, and also Berke Pala, who we saw go off earlier. Him, Flores, and Daniel. Gemzo is backed off, so Gemzo, I think, has given up. Gemzo's been unable to set a lap time there. Daniel, he's coming through the movie. Comes around the final corner now, onto the power, hits the wall as he goes by. That might be a bit of damage, that might be an invalid lap. He comes across the line, and it's 2.696.
Ollie up to 2nd. Ollie's gone 2nd. He's done it. He's up to 2nd then on the front row, and the McLaren has pulled off there onto the side, but Ollie is running aboard him there, 2nd position in qualification. And yeah, for some reason, I have noticed that the entire stream title has had a really weird error, of course. I did struggle to set the stream up, so unfortunately the stream title has completely buggered up there. So apologies to everyone who's tuning in and wondering why is it now gone to Bahrain instead of Australia. We are in Australia. We'll see if we can mend it, but this is a really weird, unfortunate that happened.
But yeah, while that's happening, let's quickly run through the grid then for today's race. The Spaniard Chocolate, he's on top, with Ollie D in 2nd, Cass 3rd, Curly Whirly 4th, 5th is the Eagle Killer, then it's Cinetec, Alvaro Macia, Alonso, Chicken, and Nardi X-Team. He takes up the 10th position, Carl Alex in 11th, and Clay is in 12th there. So that's a great qualifying session. Ollie pulled it out of the bag at the last minute there to get himself onto the front row, and it's time now for an Australian Grand Prix like no other. It's season 15. It's time to get ourselves underway. Let's have a look at the weather. It's bright and sunny. It looks like it's going to be picturesque, perfect conditions here for AOR. Season 15 is about to get underway. We have a championship, defending champion, sorry, in 2nd position, and a new challenger who has taken pole position for the first time this season. It's time to get ourselves underway here at Australia.
Indeed, with only a few seconds to go. It is looking all like it's going to be Ollie versus the pole sitter, of course. It's going to be interesting, but I'll let you do the rundown of the grid then. But today it's
sadly we haven't got the grid. Sadly, so we'll have to wait until I'll see if I can do. So yes, here we go. So in first position is Chocolate with Curly, Chicken, Carl, Alex, Clay, Davidos, then Clarky, Florian. Oh, this is a bit all over the place. So for some reason,
actually, sorry to interrupt you. 5 red lights, beginning of season 15. Here in Australia, and it's lights out, and away we go, and McLaren gets a good start, Ollie gets a good start, everyone goes towards turn number 1, but Ollie has a very good start, he's already looking to the inside, but that McLaren will switch around the outside, does do so. Mercedes lead 2 and 3, behind them there, I believe, is one of the Hasses and the Red Bulls, everyone following behind, but it's a brilliant start from Ollie, though, he's already going for the attack into turn number 3, but can he do it? No. In the background, I think everyone's got away clean, no they haven't, one of the McLarens is that off into the gravel.
That's a Ferrari, that's Alonso. He's outbroke himself going into turn 3. He's now been clipped by one of the Saubers there. That was Baruch Kalar. And Gemzo's retired. Gemzo's crashed out as well. So Gemzo
and tyre as well.
His front wing as well. And he's completely out of this race. So yeah, it was Alonso. He just outbroke himself, fully locked up and done well to avoid carnage there. Now the Eagle Killer has been overtaken by Cass. He's up into P4. They go side by side, pushing the Haas off the track now. They're going to go side by side through it. It's 3 abreast with Cinetech now. The Williams getting the inside line. They're going 3 abreast. They can't do it into 11 and 12. Surely not. They're going to go for it. The Williams has the inside line.
One of them's going to have
out with the Haas. And the Red Bull and the Haas. They're going side by side. The Red Bull's coming out on top of the Haas. Into the wall. The Haas is in the wall. And that is not what you want to see. Side-by-side racing, wheels of RG, 3 abreast. I said it wouldn't work. It didn't work. And now that is a disaster for the Haas driver who had such a good qualifying cast. He'll be taken to the stewards nonetheless, but we didn't get a good enough view. We don't know what it's like, and we don't know whose fault it was. We'll get onto the racing though. Ollie, he's in P1, he's in the slipstream. Can he catch up the shot with the Spaniard now? Going into turn 1 as he sets the fastest lap, 1 minute 29.586 goes into turn 1. He's got the gap on Ollie, he's unable to get the move done. Curly Whirly falling behind already. The 2 front runners have pulled out a lead nice and early, but that was some great racing there. The field is pretty bunched up. The only over 1 second gap is Cinetech to Curly and Curly to Ollie. So the leaders have really started this well, as it's a Red Bull 5-6 at the moment and Mercedes 2-3. And all this little bit side-by-side racing that can play there, almost clipping. But that isn't what you want to see. You want to see what you don't with this race. He's in the pits early doors. It's not ideal. As RC Alonso, he's gone into the gravel again at the exact same turn 3 as Flores has retired. He's crashed out as well.
Yeah, he's out as well.
Within the first 2 laps have crashed and lost their wheels. It's not ideal for the Dutchman. Their teamwork has not made the dream work in this situation, and sadly for them it will be no points and an early bar for them. As I mentioned, RC Alonso, he locked up at turn 3 again there, so he's struggling. But Chocolate has been overtaken by Ollie, and Chocolate's dropped down. Chocolate's gone. Chocolate has gone off at turn 11 and 12. He's lost the rear end, I believe, and he's lost it. He's now dropping like a stone. 15th position, 16th now. He's gone from first and he has lost the front wing. So maybe there was contact between him and Ollie. We haven't been able to see it as he's looking down, but there is a position there and Ollie has gained. Let's have a look on Ollie. I'm not sure if he's got damage. I don't believe so. No, he seems to be okay there. So really hectic start. Ollie's been handed the lead there. So now as he sets the fastest lap into Mercedes 1-2.
Well, this is an intriguing race. Mercedes 1-2. Red Bull battling with the Williams there. Williams up to 3rd. Red Bull in 4th. Both the Red Bulls actually running 4th and 5th though. So a good start from the pair of them. Following behind there, we've got one, I believe, is that the Haas coming around the outside of the Renault. That is Jim versus Dordos. And behind them, the other Williams and Renault as well. So all kicking off here on that already 3 laps in. We've lost both the Force Indias already. So that is a horrible, horrible way to start the seasons for Force India. And you have to say, that is the worst way you can start the season. But nonetheless, Jim is just ahead of that Haas. But up front, it is Ollie leading Curly from Sintet and Len Darkangel.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a really interesting race here. As you can see now, car number 2, sorry, 2nd place, 3rd place and 4th place. You know, they're all within a short distance. The DRS will be open nice and early for them, and they'll be getting into some good battles. And we're seeing 2 DRS zones
here. Here goes Dordos going to the inside, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. Dordos down the inside. That's going to be brave there. Little make contact. Running off the road goes the Renault, and up into what is A position there for Dordos. Jim struggling there. Might be under pressure from the Williams and his teammates now. But a big of a opportunistic move there from Dordos. It paid off. to the expense of the Renault, who went sliding off the road and just about hold it. Now we've got to look out for that Williams and the other Renault battling as well, who's had to look to the inside. Further back though, we've got the Toro Rosso Sauber and the other Toro Rosso there, so all so far so good. Very close indeed from about, I think that's about at least 14th or 15th position here. Absolutely brilliant stuff to see.
Yeah, it is indeed. Just keeping an eye on the battle for P2 at the moment. Just 3 tenths separating Cinetech and Curly Whirly. Curly getting a little bit on the dirt there. He could be damaging his time a bit too much with his early turning with the camber. Chocolate also coming to the picture in that situation, but now DRS will be effective. Carl Alex, he's moved up to the P9. I think a mistake there from Jim Nardi's team. So, and now Jim Passy as well. So, as you mentioned, the midfield are so tight, and this is what happens in leagues like this. When you've got such high quality drivers, the midfield is pretty much a front runner for most other competitions. But this is really intense, and they're all going to be bunched up. This track is notorious for not having many overtaking opportunities, so you have to be optimistic, and you have to really take advantage. As Carl Alex there, getting a little bit wayward out of the exit of turn 12. I don't think, though, that Jim Nardi is going to be able to make a move up the inside. He's not going to at this situation. But yeah, Chicken has dropped a second behind, so DRS won't be favourable for him. But keep an eye on Cinetech now as he comes through the final corner on Curly Whirly. He's going to be looking to get and try and spoil this Mercedes.
He gets a
now.
brilliant exit.
Nice exit out of the corner early on the traction. He's revving up the engine. Going to look for a move on the inside maybe when he set it up for turn 3. He's going to set out for turn 3. Gets a good entry into the corner. Nice and early on the power now. Out of the corner. Opens the DRS now. Slipstream with DRS. It's the perfect match. Is he going to go for a lunge up the inside? I don't think he's close on the moment. And no, he's not, sadly. He won't be. We've got to keep an eye on these ultra runners. They'll be looking for pit stops shortly. Between lap 6 and lap 9, we could see the first set of pit stops happening. Let's have a quick look at the tyres that everyone is running as well, because that will be an important aspect as well, because differing strategies could be really important in this race.
It could be. Well, the top 6 on the ultra softs. The first car is Clay on those super soft tyres. A few on the soft tyres of Carl Alex, and then we've got the likes of 12th, 13th and 14th all on those soft tyres. And of course, right at the back, you've got Burek and Cass on the super soft and the soft as well. Still though, looking at the bit of a battle here, I believe I just noticed there between, is that the McLaren and the Ferrari? Yes, it is. That is Clay closing up on IRT, and you have to say though, as IRT just gets a penalty there as well, just to add to a bit of an issue for him. Has a penalty as well. That's 3 seconds. Ran a little bit wide over the curve, and that's all it takes to get that penalty. Indeed, as I believe Clarkey and VP just had a bit of a battle there further down the field, actually, as we're looking now at this kind of battle again between Cinetech and Curly. DRS activated again, lap 6 of 29, and it's definitely getting a little bit closer. A few people, I think it's going to be about a 1-stop, perhaps a 2-stop as well for some of these drivers. Clay a penalty as well. But a beautiful exit here. Let's see if he's going to dive to the inside. Brave of that one. The Mercedes wants a little wide, gives him a little say, come on, try it. And Williams has a little look, but still good positioning from Curly Whirly. Just holding the line. That bit of a wobble for Cinetech and gets a bit of a tank slap in the process. But he is doing a fine job there to haul that car up the field. Have a quick look, by the way, who has had the best start here. You have to say, it is very much Dordos up 6 positions. No one really, apart from, of course, Chocolate and Cass, have dropped a huge amount. 14 and 15 positions for the pair of them there. So, of course, they had their own incidents, and horrible to see them dropping so far down the field, of course. In the opening stage, it's going to be a long, old afternoon for them.
Yeah, it will be indeed. I noticed there when we was on board with Cinetech there, trying to get on the back of Curly. The issue he has here is that you need to get an exit out of the final corner, which is very tough to do. Following cars around here, dirty air, can be really effective, especially with the setups these guys will be running. So you'll see him now as he comes through the penultimate corner. A much better entry there. Curly locking up his wheels and getting a little bit off the racing line there. He now has to get on the power nice and early. This is ideal
really
now.
wide.
He's got a fantastic exit. Curly there went a bit wayward. If he can get the move done here, Curly's gone defensive nice and early now. As they come through, Curly's going to cover him off now. Is he going to go for it on the outside? He backs out now. Get a better exit out of this corner. He's going to do so. He's going to get into that slipstream nice and early. Open up the DRS. Up into 7th gear now. High res. Can he get a move done? It's going to be a late lunge. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get it done. Is he going to look for it? No, he can't. He's going to have to get creative, I think. I think he's going to have to try and scare Curly into it. And just a side note, the gap was 2.9 seconds with a few laps ago between these two drivers. Between Curly and Ollie D. As now, Cinetech now looking up the inside. No, he didn't go for it there. But Curly and Ollie were 2.9 seconds. It's now 40.
Absolutely.
So maybe it's a bit tactical play here at the moment. Maybe it's just that Ollie has a general pace compared.
So yeah, it is looking good here. I was just looking at Clay right now, who in the Ferrari is battling that McLaren behind him there. Is that one of the Hasses? Yes, it is. That is Dordos catching up as well. So a three-way scrap again here in Australia as the clouds start to come over ahead. Now, could this mean the weather conditions are changing for the worse? Or perhaps we might just get a bit of clouds. It might just pass over. We don't know at the current time. But nonetheless, it is looking good for the battle here for second position still there. And look at the Red Bulls. They are closing in as these tyres will be going off on a Sentet's car. They're definitely going to be off the cliff, locking up almost to the back of the Red Bull, almost runs into the back of him. Look out for this Red Bull, and in comes actually the pair of them now, Red Bull, Sentet and Angel Pittsland. Now let's see, they'll go for, I believe, the soft tyres if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, is it softs I see coming on?
It's softs for the Red Bull.
Softs for the Red Bull. Let's see the Williams. Close. It's just out ahead. So let's see. There'll be a long afternoon for the pair of them. They'll have to come through the field. But currently, the first official stoppers right now. Bit of battle here, and that is the Toro Rosso down the inside, locking up. He's going to go straight on there if he's not careful. Loses the position to the Renault. Loses the position to the Sauber, and that is Clarkey being optimistic there. Got on the inside, locked up, very close, and I'd say. That's all it takes for a racing driver to have a gap. Went for it, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, it was a smart tactic there from Synertech because on average you'll see lap 6 and 9 is when people will start to come into the pits. That's the average. Not everyone does it. But he knows that the guy ahead of him has his teammate who is leading the race, so he'll have the optimum opportunity to come into the pits. He'll have the first call, and more than likely Ollie will come into the pits very shortly, if not now. So Curly won't be able to react within an instant lap, so we'll have to take 2 laps to do it. Let's keep an eye on Ollie as he comes through the penultimate corner. Let's see if he does react and come into the pits. He is locking up a little bit. Will he be moving over to the right-hand side? He is doing so. So there we go. That is a great play for the Williams, so we'll keep an eye on that there coming forward. We'll see where Ollie comes out, if anyone else comes into the pits. Here comes Chicken, he's into the pits. The McLaren of Alvaro, he's into the pits. Anyone else coming in throughout the field? None of them, Marcus. So a lot of people aren't coming into the pits. So a lot of guys not coming in. Let's have a look. Toro Rosso, Williams is the next car that could go. It's Synertech, sorry. So no, it's not. So the Red Bull of Chicken, Alvaro and Ollie D are the only ones who have come into the pits now. Ollie seems to come out into some nice clear air as well. So he'll have some good time on him. So he's played that perfectly. But for Curly, this could be a really difficult situation. His tyres will be feeling the heat at the moment. And we've got to keep an eye on Clay and Carl Alex as well, who are all on harder compound tyres compared to the ultra softs as well, so they could be a real spanner in the works of this race for the ultra soft, the early ultra soft runners.
Indeed, it is here. And looking at the battle for fourth actually right now is we've got Alex and Dordos catching up. The Williams versus the Haas, the Ferrari just ahead in the background there. I believe that's the Renault as well, and everything getting very much caught up right now as we're coming into kind of the stage of the race where they're doing the first pit stops, and now we have to look at and see. It's going to be the long strategy for most of these drivers. Of course, 50%. I mean, it's a very difficult situation for some of these drivers, especially if you're Curly Whirly. He is going to have all sorts of issues here when he comes out the pit lane. He might get undercutted like an absolute treat here because he's stayed out a long time. Is he coming in this lap? Yes, he is. So this could be extremely interesting. Look out for the likes of Sintet and Dark Angel here. As you look at the Mercedes, what tyres are they going to be? Is it the softs I see going on? Yes, they are. Hits in, then let's see. He's going to come out just there. Who is that? That is the Hassler also, and that is Dordos in. Let's look. Where is he going to be? Look out for Sintet here coming out the last corner. He might jump ahead of him here. Let's see. Is they close enough? Curly Whirly just exit the pit lane, and they have jumped him.
Not only that, the Eagle Killer has also jumped in, come out of the pits as well. So that's a great little strategy from the Eagle Killer. So not only has Curly lost one position, he's also off the podium now, technically, as now this means Synertech now has a free rank. 0.1 seconds, so he gained a second there from the undercut there on Ollie as well. So Ollie might be coming up to a bit of traffic as well with Over the King, who is also on soft tyres, so he might come in. So this could be interesting. The Eagle Killer is stuck with Synertech as well. So we have a Mercedes versus Williams versus Red Bull. We have a great little scrap on our hands now going forward. But the Eagle Killer will look to try and get a move done on Synertech as he will do. It's going to be a difficult one to do though, because it's a really tough track to overtake for Sin previously as well. It's about the pit stops. The pit stops are the crucial stages in this race at the moment. We'll quickly run through Clay leading. He's the only driver really who started on the super soft tyres. RC Cass, who was on super softs, he pitted for them after an incident on lap 1. Carl Alex, the highest of the soft runners as well. He's actually keeping up good pace with Clay. So Clay's tyres will be coming off and Clay now darts into the pits. The reason why no one went on the super softs is because they're pretty useless tyres. Very similar sort of degradation to the ultra softs, but a lot slower. So now coming in the pits, he'll be going on to a set of, I believe, that is soft turf. No, it's another set. It's soft tyres, I believe. He goes on to it.
Clarky here.
Soft tyres for Clay.
Look at Clarky right now. This is for technically third position on the racetrack right now. He's going to the outside here of turn number 3. That's going to be a brave run around the outside. Can he do it? No, he can't. But the Sauber lock straight up. That might be the undercut. It is, and straight through. Up now to third position for the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, this could spell disaster here for Ollie because these guys are scrapping and are actually in for legitimate points and they're trying to get themselves. This could cost him a little bit if he can't get past them. He's going to be catching them quite quickly, it seems. It's just at the moment 4.2 seconds, so he's catching these guys quite quickly. Cinetic has kept that gap and maintained, but the Eagle Killer is just 3 tenths behind, so he's getting a little bit leery behind. He's going to start to get a little sniff, maybe have a little dig up the inside or two, maybe try and scare him, but it's a risky strategy to go for a lock-up from Cinetic. He's unable to keep the tyres within the optimum temperature to try and get a nice line through there. So locking up isn't ideal. That'll be a flat spot and he'll feel that for the rest of the race. Curly Whirly, he's 2.3 seconds behind these guys. He's not going to be looking. So this is the important battle. We can look ahead and we can look at Ollie, but it's looking from 6th to 9th pretty much, because that is your net top 4. That is the ones who are looking to win this race. But at the same time, you know, you've got Carl Alex who could maybe throw a spanner in the works if he can pull off a big enough gap on these tyres and do a good enough job. In the pits comes Jim Passy as well, who's taken an ultra softs a very long time as well. Now, looking at Dan Daniel and Clarky, he's going to look for a move up the inside maybe. He's got the DRS, so does Clarky, but he's got a much better line, so it seems like Dan Daniel is much quicker. He gets a good exit out of the corner now, opens up the DRS, up into 7th gear now. Slipstream plus DRS, but Clarky's DRS is going to counteract that sadly for him.
From winning if he tries.
That's late there, almost runs into the back of him there, but he's unable to run in. Sorry, he's unable to get the move done there. I think he was looking for a little bit of a late lunge to scare Clarky maybe into a mistake. Lucky to avoid damage there as well.
Off goes over. That is that Overdry King going off the road there, locking up. He's going off again. Is he not? Yes, he is. Has he got damage on that Toro Rosso lad? Noticing? I don't think he has. Looking further back, Syntex still battling away with that Red Bull. And these guys, I believe, are catching Ollie a little bit here. The gap is 3 seconds. But Ollie, of course, now catching the Toro Rosso. He's flying in the Mercedes. Light to blaze indeed. It's Dan Daniel getting a little bit closer here. 6 tenths. But that's the lead guys that might not be pitting. Let's have a look what tyres these guys are on if we can. If I get the right thing. Off goes the car as well. So all the drivers pretty much on the soft tyres. Here is Chicken gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Turning into a great old scrap throughout the field, by the way. This is looking at, again, the Red Bull getting a bit slidey on the exit. He's still just about 4 tenths the gap. It's just a situation, Dirty Air not helping by any stretch of the means of Syntax here. Dark Angel just can't get that car close enough just to make a lunge or something. He's going to have to try it somewhere else. Looking at Dordos here. We've got Clay and IRT there battling as well. This is a little scrap here. Same with RC Alonso as well. Gets a good exit through the last corner. He's in the battle for 15th and 16th position here. And the Ferrari, of course, trying to pass that Haas, of course. Some say the Haas is just a Ferrari in disguise. We'll see about that in future in actual with real life. If you do actually watch the Grand Prix, do get your comments down below. Of course, do get trending on Twitter with hashtag AOR hype, or in caps locks, remember, as well.
Yeah, just on board with the Eagle Killer, he's really struggling to get behind Syntex, so it might be an idea for him to just drop off, maybe just get in some clean air, save the tyres a little bit and push a little bit later, because if these two at the moment are actually gaining on Ollie. It's gone from 3 seconds to 2.8, it's now to 2.9, so I'm not sure if Ollie's preserving. You know, he's now actually caught up in traffic with over the Kink. So he is really going to be losing time here now. Over the Kink is not going to allow him past. I mentioned the traffic earlier. Ollie needs to dispatch of this pretty quickly. He's coming up to not just one car, but a whole string of them that could cause him difficulties. Up the inside, Ollie goes late on there. He's not going to give him any room there. He shouldn't have gone for that. Now in comes one of the cars ahead of him. So the Sauber's in. Now Ollie will have the RS. And Over the Kink isn't going to make this easily. He's going to want to get some limelight, and that's what he's getting right now. Going into turn 1, Ollie will have fresher tyres, we know. I don't think he's got the straight line speed. He compromised his own exit there by going, so he should have really fought better of it, but he gets a great exit out of turn 1. DRS,
I said to
nice and open
there.
now. Slipstreaming as well. He's going to look to the outside. There it goes. I'm not sure he's going to have to outbrake him nice and late.
Oh, they made contact.
Then he clipped to Toro Rosso, and there was contact between them two there. The Toro Rosso was left enough room. The Mercedes went for a move on the outside. It was late on the brake as he fully locked up. I don't know what Ollie expected, but that has cost him serious time. And just quickly look at the gap. 8 tenths now, Syntec, and it's behind him. That's brought them into the race. So this is now a three-way scrap, and Over the Kink has really brought himself into this little squabble nicely and has really spiced things up. Ollie will be fuming under the cockpit. He'll be very angry indeed. He'll be a little bit annoyed he wasn't left enough space, but that's racing. It's wheel to wheel. You've got to get your elbows out sometimes, and that's what the Toro Rosso is doing. But Ollie's probably going to get a little bit more elbowy himself. He's going to start showing that he has got the bottle to go up for these risky moves. He's going to go for one here. Is he going to risk it? He does risk it up the inside. Daniel Ricciardo S. He's not going to have the traction though. He's going to go side by side now into this corner. Beautiful right-hander. He's pushing him off the track now. He's onto the gravel, and the Williams now.
There'll be more contact there. There is contact, almost sliding.
Gets the move done. No damage done there. Lovely there. Ollie, I said he had the bottle. He had the bottle. Daniel Ricciardo S. But not only there has he helped out himself, but he's really helped out the Williams and the Red Bull. They've got past the Toro Rosso nicely. Is that Toro Rosso going for a move on the Red Bull? No, he's not going to go for the Eagle Killer. But now we have got ourselves a lovely scrap. They're all within DRS range, and this is now going to start heating up. Can Syntec and the Eagle Killer get a move done? We know it's difficult to overtake here, but it's showing some really good signs that Syntec has really got pace here. So is the Eagle Killer. If I'm honest, if it was an overtaking track, I think the Eagle Killer could possibly win this race. We still have a potential of one more pit stop as well, which could really throw a spanner in the works going forward. Keep an eye out for that. Who's going to risk it first? Is anyone going to risk it at all? Can they get these tyres to the end? These are the questions we'll find out within the next 15 laps.
Indeed. Well, just have to look at it in Syntec, of course. He's still there, but that was a very optimistic move from Ollie there. I had to say a little bit sneaky of him, a bit naughty, give him a bit of a squeeze, but that's racing, and the end of the day, this is what these drivers are paid for, to go out there and win the race. And they are definitely trying their hardest as Eagle. 3-second time penalty. That's through the fast chicane there. I don't know how big of a penalty that he's got so far. I think that's a second, so he may have about 6 seconds. But the top 3, I don't know what Ollie's tyres are going to be like. They must be overheating like a madman there. As I just noticed a Toro Rosso, I thought, sliding off into the barrier nearly. He just about kept on the circuit there. So Over the Kink is doing a beautiful job here. He's just ahead of Curly Whirly. In the pit lane is Carl, by the way. He's gone on to, I believe that's the soft tyres as well. As a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane has gone Kinkler. So that has gone from bad to worse there for him. And that's going to be an even longer afternoon for him there. So, I don't know, it might go to the end of the race from here. But look at this. Your second, third and fourth. And Curly Whirly just in the background of these coming through the corner as well. So, you've got the technical top 3, of course. Once Clarkey pits. Of course, still look out for Clarkey later on in the race. He's going to come out, I believe. Let's see where he'll come out. Around about 12th position, we believe. So it's going to be a long old afternoon for him when he does come out. But he'll be on the freshest tyres, we believe. That's going to be a very interesting stuff here. And 3 tenths to gap. It's still closing up. And I'd say it's definitely looking like it's going to be a straight old fight from here to the end of the race. Ollie's tyres will be definitely overheated from that battle earlier on, but he's gonna have now the dirty air affecting Syntec, who is now starting to pull away from the Red Bull now. Ever so slow, the gap is now 6 tenths, it's opening up. There goes Chocolate, he's left the session there, unfortunate to say. There is your, I believe that might be a disconnection there. It's got both the Force Indias out, of course, within the first 3 laps, of course. Gems hit the wall coming through turn 4, and of course, Flores hit at turn 5 a few laps later in a very similar type of accident. Both lost the front left, but maybe we'll find out what happened later on. Nonetheless, though, your order so far: Clarkey, Ollie, Syntec. Then we got Eagle, Curly Whirly, Chicken, Clay, Dordos here, who looks to be having a bit of a battle here with, I believe, the Ferrari. Yes, he is. He's still battling with Clay there. He's 2 tenths. He's having a little look down the inside. Things background. There's the McLaren making contact with the Williams there. That Williams is going around the outside, is he not? He's going to get squeezed off the road there, and that is a bit naughty from IRT there gave him a bit of a don't try it, and he definitely had the high ground there, and definitely pushing, but he's run wide. The Williams is having looked to the inside, now gets alongside, and now passes the McLaren there. The McLaren can't do anything there. Let's see if he can still try around the outside. Look out for the Renault behind, who's definitely also just there, looking at the back of the exhaust there, and he's going to be tasting a little bit of a move coming up soon. There is a bit of another penalty there coming along there for another driver. That is Marek there. And the Haas still having a look at the Ferrari, which runs into the back of him here. This is the battle for 7th and 8th right now. And this is getting a little bit personal right now.
Yeah, as you mentioned there earlier with Alex, quickly side mentions Parky now comes in the pit undoubtedly for a set of super soft tyres. Alex is pretty much committed to the end of the race now, so he's on a one-stop strategy, so he could be in for this race as well. You've got to keep an eye on the fact because the one-stoppers could actually come out, but their tyres will be a little bit worn at the end, and the quicker drivers could get to the end a lot easier. But you'd expect the one-stop is possible from the ultra softs if they can manage their tyres. But also there, Alex, when he on the McLaren, he locked up the brakes and hit him in the side, and I think that McLaren, when he squeezed him out, was a little bit like, if you're going to treat me with disrespect, I'm going to give it right back to you. But there's a great little battle throughout the midfield from Clay, Davidos and Alex as well, so that's a real good sign. But as you mentioned there, Eagle Killer, maybe he is starting to back off just to save them tyres, get some clean air, try and just bide his time. Overtaking around here is really tough. But yeah, Ollie is now back in first position from Cinetech and the Eagle Killer. Curly's pretty much out of this, so he hasn't had the pace from the start, but he's not that far behind, so any form of contact, any mistake in a podium is still a possibility for the Mercedes driver.
Is very much interesting right now, but looking at Alex here, he's just behind Dordos here in the Williams, and this looks to be a well, he's on the super softs there versus of course Dordos on the super softs. I don't know when they pitted. I think the Williams has slightly fresher tyres there. Actually, apologies, Dordos is on the soft tyres. It has a little bit of a graphical glitch there on our end there. Apologies for if you're seeing that on the stream. Slipstream, here goes the Williams. Is he going to launch one down the inside of turn one? He's definitely close enough. He is going to have one down the inside. He's going to have a pop at him. Down the inside he goes. Does he get the corner done? Looks like he did, but bad exit for him. And a big slide for the Haas. And definitely, like I said, I thought he had a good exit. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, I said overtaking was going to be tough, and Alex has just got on pretty wrong there, but he is on much fresher tyres. So, yeah, he's one to keep an eye out. He is really showing some good pace at the moment, and if the other guys ahead are on two stops, as we would expect, it's going to be an interesting race nonetheless. 0.4 of a second is what Cinetech is behind Ollie. Lockups for all three of the top three, so lockups are a theme of the top three at the moment, but keeping an eye now on Cinetech. Hopefully he can maybe get a move going and maybe mount a challenge, but as we saw from F1 this season when Lewis Hamilton was behind Sebastian Vettel for so long, overtaking is not an easy task down here, so he will have to get creative the same way the Eagle Killer needed to get creative.
Oh, sorry, interrupt you. We've got a car up, and it's Jim. He's gone and spun it at the chicane there. Coming down towards the very fast chicane. Yeah, he's gone and dropped it. I think it was battling with someone. I don't know who it was, but he definitely came to him putting the wrong direction there. So a big mistake for him. Meanwhile, the other Jim is having a little battle here. He's looking at the McLaren. Is he going to have one down the inside there? Thinks better of it.
Yeah, it must have been a mistake or something, but it's a real difficult one. Obviously, Jim Pasty and Jim Nardi, both part of Jim, the esports team, as they are. You know, it's a very well-respected esports team. Former champion, of course, Jim Nervotank, who raced in AOR, no longer here on this tier with us. It's a very competitive driver, and they produce very competitive drivers, the Spanish group do indeed. But a little lock up there from Jim Nardi. He goes into turn 3, avoids the back end of Alvaro there. He locks up, does a great job to avoid any damage and avoid the car ahead, but that now puts Clarkey on his rear end, and we saw Clarkey can get his elbows out nicely. So we've got a nice little scrap going on there, so the Renault doing a good job to avoid any contact. Not ideal from him there. He'll have grass on his tyres, and getting that off won't be easy at all. Alex, who is all over the back of the Ferrari of Clay, who is of course on the soft tyres compared to the super soft, so Alex is really making a charge at the moment. So someone who we didn't expect to be the veteran, the 5-season veteran, the old boy, the old guard of AOR PS4, he'll be looking to have a good performance and try and get himself potentially on the podium and maybe even a race win with the pace he's showing at the moment. He is really smashing it in. He could catch a podium with the pace he's showing, but we are on lap 20 of 29. We're coming to the final third of this Grand Prix very shortly. You can see the cars ahead of him, Clay, the Ferrari, and the Red Bull of Chicken. They're in his sights and they're potential targets for him at the moment. And the pace he's showing, he's got the DRS, he's overtook around this track already. He's showing good pace and he's really showing that he's got a bit bottled about him and he can get their moves done, which is a real tough task. As mentioned, a great exit out of that corner there. Clay is all over the place. He's struggling. He's going to get a great exit. Now, nicely on the traction. DRS open. I think he's going to go for a move at the inside. Clay's defending the outside now. He's going to go for a late braking.
Late braking. He just got that.
Early. Late braking from Alex, and that is P6 for the Williams now. His next target is Chicken of the Red Bull. He's on super softs. He's flying, and this could be his day.
Definitely is. Your top three, by the way, all separated by 5 attempts of a second hit. And they're definitely closing up here, as I believe these tyres are definitely going to be going off, all 3 of these drivers. But I'd say Curly's just sitting there back. He's probably wondering if these guys start battling or cancel quite dramatically here as Eagle starts to close up a little bit now, as that is Jim, I think, has made a move. Or has he, that's Clark he's just got around the outside, we believe. And that is, of course, the battle for 10th position there, so that is the last point on offer. And unfortunately, let's go on away from Jim, and he'll have to definitely be try and find something later on. Top 3 very close. Eagle definitely closing up now. He's now 3 tenths. He's definitely got a little more downforce in that car, but now starts dropping back. Put your driver of the day in the chat, by the way. Who do you vote? Right now, I'm going to say it's definitely going to be going to Sintat here. He's definitely done a beautiful job so far as Eagle gets a time penalty there. So that is another penalty down to a list. So I don't know if he'll be... right, he's going to have to go and try and pass all these guys and then open, I believe, at least a 6-second time gap here. So he's going to drop down to at least, I believe, around 6th position if he's not careful. I'm talking about 6th position. Alex?
I've learned from experience, you never put your bets on a driver of the day until the race is over. If you would have said to me today at the Chinese Grand Prix, who was your driver of the day, it would have been Daniel Ricciardo early on, but it ended up being. So in this race, in the moment, you've got to keep an eye on Alex. He is the guy who is the one you want to look at. He's now just 3 tenths behind Chicken, who is all over the place. He is really showing some pace. So if he can get onto the back of the Eagle Killer, who, let's be honest, is pretty much out of this race for the battle for the lead. He's looking for a podium, and that's going to be a push at the moment. So Curly, he won't know this information, but if he can keep where he is, it's a podium set. But the pace that Alex is showing on these super soft tyres is very, very competitive now. He's up the rear end of Chicken there. He's not going to go for a late move, but Chicken is locking up now. He's going off to the AstroTurf now. Up the inside goes Alex. He's going to look for a move on the inside. Surely not now. They go side by side. Little clipping there. He's not going to go for it though. He backs down.
He is.
Goes on the inside.
That's optimistic.
Side by side. Bashes the wheels. A lock up for Chicken.
Oh, they make contact again. He's going to get squeezed into the wall.
He's pushed off wide. The DRS is open. Chicken there getting his elbows out. Not the nicest of moves. Alex will feel a little bit hard done by, but that's Grand Prix racing. That's what we want to see. A great little
get a good exit.
Look at it. Between Alex and Chicken.
He's going to have a good exit
here.
With
beginning. He's going to have DRS. The slipstream's nice and open. He's going around the outside. He's going to take the outside line. We've seen him go for outside, inside. He can do whatever he wants. Not through the middle though, and he can't get it done there. So Chicken there, great defending. He knows that Alex is a threat, and he knows not only is he a threat to him, but he's a threat to his teammate. And the longer he holds up, the better chance he has. Laps are running out for Alex. The quicker he gets it done, the better. It looks like the soft runners are going to the end now on a one-stop on the ultras to softs. It looks like they're going to do it, but their degradation could be high. We don't know how the degradation is, but keep an eye on Alex because he is going to be a little bit leery now after what Chicken did. Lock-ups from both, and keep an eye on Clay behind. He's been brought into this battle, so Chicken could potentially lose out on a position. So it's not just a case of 5th to 6th. It could be 7th if he doesn't watch out.
Indeed, here we go then. And let's just remember, though, that Chicken is on the softer tyres. Here goes Alex. Is he going to have one to the inside? Gets a firm saying, you're not trying there. Try on the outside if you want, but I'm going to cover it off. He still can't do anything there. Now he's going to have to come through. He has to be activated. Is he going to have another little pop here? Thinks better of it. And now, coming through the last few corners, he's going to have the slipstream. He'll have the DRS, remember. And let's see, the Red Bull's a nice fast car. Look out for the Ferrari though. He's probably wondering if these guys keep battling. There's going to be contact. He's going to go to the inside, is he not? Yes, he is, down the inside into turn number 1. Gets the move done. Runs a bit wide, however, and look out for that Ferrari. Here goes Clay. He's going to try and snatch one of these guys now at least. He's going to go to the outside. Can he do it? The long way round. Gets a bit of contact. Ooh. Oh, there is contact. I think they've all collided. Yes, they have. Off goes the Williams. Off goes the Red Bull. And like I was saying, and the Haas almost involved as well. And I will say, like I was just about to say, if these guys collide, they'll be all good for Clay, and they have collided there. And now, look at the Red Bull, who's now dropped down behind the Haas. And that, I'd say, was a little bit of a mess for those three. And now, Chicken, all the way down in 8th.
Yeah, look poor from Chicken there. Looked like he clipped the Ferrari, and that just caused a Constantina effect there. He'll have some questions to ask, and Alex will be fuming throughout there. Is the Haas now going to go side by side now? As they go through,
that's going to be around the outside. Surely not there.
Surely.
That's going to be brave around the outside. My goodness gracious me. Look at that Chicken. Even though he had contact a few moments ago, the Haas is going to come back at him. He's going to try around the outside. Let's see. He'll give him a bit of a squeeze. He made contact again. Now he's going to still go around the outside. Look at this. That front wing's coming off, and he's been forced off the road. The Toro Rosso flies past. And now, down to 9th goes Dordos. He's not going to be a happy puppy there.
No, it's a great little battle there. You knew they weren't going to go side by side through turn 11 and 12. No one ever does. If you do, you're a bit stupid. You're not going to come out there with all your front wing. You're not going to come out there with all your tyres on either. So, yeah, as I mentioned, Chicken there, a little bit of a mistake there. It's going to cost him, and Alex will be fuming. Maybe he picked up damage, I'm not sure, but he was on potential podium, and now it looks like 5th
down the inside goes the Toro Rosso on the Red Bull.
At the way he's going at the moment. And yeah, the Toro Rosso and Red Bull scrapping there, so Chicken is really dropping like a fly. Clarkey, who had the earlier into it now, into the wall.
Down the inside, that car's going off.
Chicken, and up the inside goes Clarkey. Contact! And there's big contact there, and Davidos goes past. Chicken is having a right nightmare now. Chicken has not come to roost today. It's an early morning that he'll want to forget here at the Melbourne track. Alberts Park has not gone well for the Red Bull driver, and now Jim Nardi is all over the rear end. He's dropping water at the moment. He's sinking, and this Chicken needs to get his he needs to get himself in order if he wants to get back on top and gain some significant points here. But he must have damage or something, because the pace he is lacking. Maybe tyre wear, significant tyre wear. This is not the same Chicken who we saw doing great overtakes and looking for battles and getting up there now. Up the inside goes Nardi through the third to last corner up the inside. That's P9 for him, and Chicken now is at risk of potentially losing out on points, so not great for him now. And Nardi doing well, but we'll keep an eye on that battle for the lead. Cinetek is 3 tenths behind now. Deagle Killer has dropped off significantly. It's a two-way track for the win of this Grand Prix. Alex 1.3 seconds behind his target in Clay. He can still gain some positions, but it's now with just 4 laps remaining. It's Ollie versus Cinetek. It's Mercedes versus Williams. It's time for this penultimate, these final few laps that can really make or break the start of someone's season. Will the defending champion get off to the perfect start? Will a newcomer rise and take the challenge to him?
It is definitely closing up here. Apologies just there. I had to quickly pop downstairs, but I'm now back. Don't worry, it's all okay. Now Ollie, like you said, under pressure there from Sintet. And I believe IRT hit the wall baller. He has DNF, so I don't know exactly what's happened to him, but he's out of this race. And right now, Ollie is definitely going for that win, but still behind him. Sintet, he equally wants that win. Can he displace the reigning champion here? That is going to be a definite surprise if that Williams...
Ooh, quickly, I've got a quick side note. Cinetek has a penalty. So that might just throw a spanner in the works.
That is going to throw a big spanner in the works. Ollie's probably doesn't know. He probably does know this, actually, to be honest, because his engineer will definitely give him the information they normally do. But now, you have to wonder, it's going to be a definite challenge now. So Ollie, we believe... he hasn't got a penalty, and he's going to go for this win, but I honestly think Sintet probably want to have the glory and get it either way. But back below, I believe there's that Jim perhaps having a bit of a battle further downwards. We keep our eye out on the top right now, and Alex, I believe, also having a bit of a battle with the Ferrari. Indeed, they are here. The Williams versus the Ferrari. Top 2, we'll keep an eye out on that, on the timing, and see if anything happens there. But it's definitely closing up between 5th and 6th position right now, and it's getting a little bit hot.
Definitely getting hot under the collar. Alex will not be happy after what happened previously with the Red Bull of Chicken. Clay got the optimistic opportunity. He didn't look like he was going to get the move done. He was just trying to get onto the back of the Red Bull and gain a position. Well, he gained 2 out of it at the end of the day. And now Alex is looking to regain one of them positions and gain as many points as possible. Fastest lap now for Over the Peak, who's on a fresh set of ultra soft tyres. He's looking to get himself onto them stats and add that to his AOR bio maybe. But let's just spare a thought quickly for the Chocolate, the ex-Chocolate, who had such a great qualifying. You know, really shocked us all. doing a great job, and sadly is now running in P17. And it looks like the race could be coming down to a penalty, even if it comes, even if he can get past here with just 2 laps remaining. We're coming up to the final lap very shortly. The penultimate lap is underway. Maybe if Sinatec can get the move done, he can appeal to the stewards, but we don't know what the penalty for. Was unable to see what it was about. But Alex all over the rear end of Clay. I don't think he's going to have a good enough opportunity now going into turn 1. Going to have to try and get a better exit out of this corner. He has the better tyres. I don't think he's going to do it. Opens up the DRS now. Going to get into the slipstream. Going into turn 3. An overtaking opportunity. He's going to look for the move up the inside. Brakes a little bit later, but he's unable to get the move done there as they come now at the end of the first sector. And he's only got himself realistically 2 more opportunities to get into fifth position.
Indeed, but up front it is still Ollie is looking at the Renault here. That is Jim versus Dordos, and that got awfully close there. How they avoided each other there, we'll never know. This is the battle for 8th position, 8th and 9th. Behind them there is Chicken in the Red Bull, of course, after his issues earlier on. And now look at the Renault around the outside. This is a hard move. Let's see, down into the braking zone, of course, around turn 10. Does he do it? Yes, he does. Locks up. Does he get the corner? Just about. But look out for that Red Bull. He's still just about behind them. This is Dordos now in 9th. But Chicken in 10th. He's going to be challenging here. Let's see if the Red Bull gets a good slingshot exit around this corner right now. Gets on the grass there and drops a few attempts. Very, very much close. By the way, just coming on to, I believe, your last lap, by the way. Yes, it is your last lap for your leader right now. Ollie Davis starts what is the final lap from Syntec in 2nd position. Angel in 3rd. Ahead of Curly Whirly, but 5 tenths to gap, of course. It will, we presume, open up to at least quite a lot more, but Angel, of course, is a penalty. So I think Curly might get 3rd here today, I believe.
Yes, he will.
Yes, he should get 3rd. He might even get 2nd.
On the inside goes Alex. Alex up the inside of the Ferrari now into turn 3. Gets the move done. A little bit of wheel barge in there. Up the inside goes the Ferrari. He's going to stick it up there. He's pushed him up wide there. And the Ferrari got his elbows out there. Sorry to interrupt you there, but he went up for the inside. He knew it to go for the move, and the Ferrari just stuck one up the inside. It was a little bit dirty from there. I felt like the Williams had a clean move there, and the Ferrari just stuck it up the inside to say, nah, I want this position at the end of the day. And a little bit dirty, but I don't think Sinatec's going to have a last opportunity through 11 and 12. It looks like Ollie has this one wrapped up. He's in a very good performance from him from start to finish. He's looked like the fastest driver from lap 2. He's led every single lap pretty much, apart from every competitive lap. Now, Sinatec's put the pressure on, the Eagle Killer has done as well. But as they come through the final few corners, it's Ollie's day. Last season was his season, and here in Australia, it looks like it's going to be his day. Sinatec looking around the outside one last time, maybe. He's unable to get it done, but as he comes across the line, it's Ollie's day. It's Ollie's day. Indeed, Ollie D wins the Australian Grand Prix and starts AOR season 15 the way he finished season 14. The champ is back, and he is on top step of the podium from Sinatec, and his teammate makes it a 1-3 for Mercedes. A great start for the constructors and a great individual start for both Mercedes drivers. Yeah,
Curly Whirly did get 3rd in the end, Len. So a good result for him. Any other battling going on? I believe not. I think they all coming through. VP12 IRS is going to come across the line 13th ahead of Jim in 14th. Then we got the bit of a long rate, of course, down to Burek and Overking, who's had he had quite a few races. I thought he would have come back through this race. He has not, and of course, Chocolate, who did get back in her after all. He did actually rejoin, but he is well and truly really far down the order.
Yeah, it's a shame for him, really. He had some good pace, and it's just been disappointing for him. But a real admirable battle from all drivers. I think Sinatec done a really good job. Obviously, mention down below your driver of the day using the hashtag AOR hype, of course. For me personally, for excitement, I'm going to give it to Alex. I think he was the only one really for me who made bold overtaking manoeuvres, which I would say is the most important thing. He did come through the field really well and went for a different strategy and brought some excitement. Congratulations to Ollie.
Yeah, well, right now, apologies for seeing a blue screen, because I'm going to see if we can get Ollie in here right now. Have a little talk to him. Let's see if we can get Ollie in here right now then. Let's send a invite to him there, so you'll have to accept that. Let's go to the podium right now for your top 3. Let's see if we can get Ollie in right now as we look at your winner today. And hopefully he'll join us in the chat in a few moments' time. There, of course, the top 3. Curly in 3rd. I have to say, a brilliant result for him. second place as well, and third joining on that podium. Let's see if we can actually get both the let's see if we can get Curly and of course the Williams in as well.
I think we need to give an admirable mention as well to the fact that he didn't pick up a single penalty there, which at the end could have been a real reason why he won the race. Of all the top 3 drivers, the only one without a penalty as well. Alex didn't pick up a penalty. Clark as well deserves a very admirable performance. I know he was involved in a few scraps and hits and scrapes and whatnot, but from 15th on the grid to finish P5, a very good shout for driver of the day. For Dan Daniel as well, 17th to 12th. I know it's not points, but a very good performance nonetheless as well. Disappointing day for a few guys, especially Flores and Gemzo, who really didn't get going at the start, and also Alvaro, who DNF'd late on as well. So that's disappointing for him. He looked like he was running in the points.
Indeed. Let's see if we can get our good old Ollie in here, by the way, as hopefully he does join. Let's wait a few moments' time and see if he does want to join. And please get in your comments, by the way. What did you think of that race? I give that a solid 10 out of 10 there. That was a very enjoyable race from start to finish. And there it is, of course, Ollie. Well, hello, Ollie, and well done for your win, by the way. How did it feel?
Oh, that was a very tense race, that one, because yeah, I got like a pretty good start, and then I don't know what happened to the guy in front of me at the start, but he just went off, and then I got like a 4-second gap on the ultras. I think my pace was pretty good on the ultras, and then when I went onto the softs, I had what's his name? I don't remember his gamer tag from us, but I got held up behind him. Yeah, and then I got held up behind him, and then I went for a move, and then I got hit, and then that cost me about 2 or 3 seconds, and then from then on it was just about keeping the 2 behind. Like that was really, really tense, and they were just constantly like within half a second. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to take the win, because it could have gone drastically wrong. Like I was on 2 warnings throughout pretty much the second stint, so yeah, I was just trying not to get my 3rd warning and get that penalty. So yeah, very happy to win.
Indeed. Well, your teammate on the podium as well.
Go ahead, you go.
Good to see Mercedes 1 and 3 as well. So it's got to say an impressive debut for Mercedes so far this season.
Yeah, definitely. I think, well, we will be in the lead of the constructors. So yeah, with me and Curly, I think we're a pretty strong team. So the aim will be to take the constructors championship.
Indeed. Let's see if we can get Curly in, as well as Syntech joins as well. That's so you're as well. Syntech, congratulations as well. Great race. How did you like it?
I really liked it. It was a tough battle. And congratulations to Ollie. He did an amazing job.
Thank you very much.
Indeed. Any questions in the chat, by the way, whilst we've got the chat still open? Let's keep getting a few questions in. The question from Cherry 2 by to Ollie. Question: how have you won in the dry?
Cam, shut up.
I've got a quick question for Cinetech. We noticed that you was very quick and you were following Ollie for quite a significant position, but how important was track position in that race? Because it looked like you were struggling to get an overtaking manoeuvre done.
It was really, really difficult to overtake. I noticed that in the first stint I wasn't able to go past, I'm not sure who it was, but it was really, really difficult to overtake. And when I got the penalty, I didn't really try to overtake, because I knew every try would cost me a lot of time. And it was really, really difficult to follow, because every time you're in dirty air, you're getting wide, and due to this problem, you often get warnings and something like this. And yeah, it was really difficult to overtake.
And the same goes to Ollie, really. I mean, you won the race, but do you feel like you was the fastest man on track? Was you holding anything back, or do you think the track position was vital for you today?
I'd say I probably had the quickest pace on the ultra soft tyres, but when it came to the soft tyres, I think the 2 behind me, Synthetic, and I think it was the Red Bull, I don't remember his gamer tag, I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I think they were both a bit quicker than me on the soft tyres. So yeah, track position and the dirty air and everything like that was really important today.
Well, indeed. Well, of course, next race, it's going to be definitely interesting So to you, Free, what do you think is your predictions for next race? Let's get a nice and personal question here.
Probably start with Curly, because he hasn't answered one yet. Curly, well, actually, a good point to Curly. You seem to have pace on the ultra softs at the beginning, but what seemed to happen? Because you seemed after the pit stop, you seemed to struggle a little bit. Was it just a lack of pace, or do you just think you wasn't lucky? Was it the pit stop? Did it seem like you staying out a little bit later? Because I did mention to Evil as well that the fact that Synthetic pitted early kind of forced you into going 2 laps extra on your tyres because of the fact Ollie would get the optimum pit stop opportunity. So do you think you were just unlucky with the pit stops there? You could have got a podium no matter what, but obviously penalties kind of come into play.
To be honest, I think my pace in the first stint was pretty terrible, to be honest. I think in practice I wasn't quite as quick as Ollie, but I wasn't too far off of him. But I don't know, I just drove really poorly on the ultra soft tyres. Had a huge train behind me, and then yeah, I don't know. I decided to go a little bit longer. I thought about boxing early, but I was just concerned about coming out in traffic, and I think my pace on the soft tyre was a little better. I was definitely catching Deagle and slightly the front runners towards the end, but it just wasn't quite enough. And yeah, I mean, really just the first stint on the ultra soft tyres, I lost so much ground to Ollie there, and I think that's really what cost me any sort of hope of P2 in the end.
I mean, we'll go back to Ollie as well quickly. I mean, you've really stamped down your authority. Champion from last season, champion potentially again this year. You've really put down a marker and showed everyone that you've got the pace once again. Is that your goal? Well, I'm guessing it's your goal, obviously. Are you looking to become a back-to-back AOR champion? And how well do you think you can do this season?
Yeah, that's definitely the target, is to just be consistent, try and get podiums every race, and then hopefully take a second championship. I know it's going to be tough with the likes of Synthetic and Curly. They're going to push me along the way. So yeah, as I said, just need to try and be consistent and pick up the 25 points where I can really, and yeah, just see how it goes from there.
And Curly, I'm going to be a bit cheeky. Are you going to be a Nico Rosberg from 2016, or are you going to be a Valtteri Bottas from 2017?
China's a good track for me, so let's just see how things go.
And obviously Synthetic, great performance today, getting a really good performance. So are you going to be, do you think you've got the pace this season to really challenge not just Ollie but everyone and get your name on the board as a champion?
I hope so. I think I need a little bit more practice in quali, because it seems like I lose a lot of time there. But I think when I can fix this, I might be able to get some good results and yeah, maybe have some nice fights with the others.
Well, it's been a fantastic Grand Prix, Evil. I mean, how would you sum up that race in? I'm going to give you 3 words. Sum up that race in 3 words. How do you think it went? For me, I would say, the dirty air. I'm going to give it the dirty air. I feel like that would be the most effective phrase to give that one. What would you give it?
Well, 3 words. If I had 3 words to give that race, I would probably say... It's going to be difficult. I don't know whether those 3 words have put me on the spot. Absolutely brilliant racing.
Go for Ollie wins again.
Indeed. It was a great race throughout, of course. To your top 3. From here, we'll meet you next time out, of course, in China. Of course, for the Chinese Grand Prix, apparently. So until next time, we'll see you then from F1. Thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye.